guest at this time is a wrestler from the South. She goes by the name of the Dutchess Ayzali, and I believe she's joining me right now. Uh,
Hello.
hey, how's it going?
I'm good. It's going for you.
I'm doing real good, real good. Thank you so much for being on the show this evening. I truly appreciate it.
Absolutely no problem.
So let's go ahead and begin. Now, for you, what made you decide to become a wrestler?
Um, well, I grew up in the UK. I was born and raised in Brandon, Norwich. My father was a huge wrestling. He was a wrestling fan of the indies primarily. So I grew up 3, 4, 5 years ago going to a lot of indie shows where I would see people like Johnny Saint, Haystack, Finley for a short time before he got signed to WWE. So I grew up on this really, really traditional European wrestling. And when my parents separated or divorced, I moved to the States with my mom, and that's when I got introduced to things like WWE, WCW. I kind of came in right around 99, 2000 was when I started watching WWE. And I just had a huge passion for it, and I love the physicality of it as well as the theatrics of it. So it drew me in, and I knew I wanted to do that when I got older.
So, do you remember the first wrestling match that you ever had? And if so, who was your opponent and what company did you work for?
Ooh, if we were to say my first real full-fledged wrestling match, it was, again, I don't remember the exact date, but it was, gosh, it wasn't that long ago, but for some reason I'm blanking. It was a four-way, yes, it was a four-way against Cabron Canyon, Bobby B, and A.R. Fox. And it was a four-way. It was exciting because it was like my first match, and it was with some of the people that have been huge influences. Of course, A.R. Fox being my trainer, and Cabron Canyon and Bobby B have been people I've been training with since I've been here. And I actually dominated all three of the lots, so it was great. I'm not a little girl. I'm almost 6 feet tall. I'm about 5'11", so it wasn't very difficult to take care of those grown men. So that was my first match.
How did you feel going into the match? Was there any butterflies? Was you nervous prior to it? Like, what was your mindset going into that match?
There was a bit of nerves, but to be honest, I grew up doing theater, so I was used to being in front of large groups of people. I was used to having to speak and things of that nature. Now, tying in the athletic aspect was definitely new. That was probably the thing that was a little unnerving. But, I mean, once I got into that ring, and like I felt the energy of the crowd, I felt the energy of my competitors, it felt like second nature being in the ring. So there was a bit of nerves, but I overcame them as soon as my music hit and I stepped into that ring. So it was a great experience.
Oh, I see. You said you've been through theater. Okay, so that kind of made you prepare for this. So, and it turned out pretty well for you.
I think so. Things are going pretty good so far. I mean, I'm only officially in probably almost 4 months now. But I've been getting a lot of opportunities. I've been getting a lot of, choices and different things coming my way, and it's exciting. But yeah, it seems to be working out just fine. I'm excited for the future.
I want to read a post from your Facebook page. It's actually a photo that you post on Instagram. Um, and the quote is, "The moment you realize your friend may be crazy, but it's okay because she likes you." That's referring to your tag team partner, Miss D Rose, who I've interviewed her before. She's very nice. She's a sweetheart, and y'all post some photos together. And what made y'all decide to team up? Was it the company's idea? Like, did y'all had a friendship before this? Like, how did that came about?
Yeah, it was the company's idea. I thought it was nice because I had heard together, and before the match everything was okay, but during the match, she tried to one up me. She did things to make me feel very small. of abandoning her in our tag team match, which is actually why tonight at WWE 4 I will be facing her on a one-on-one Fuzzy. I don't know. So that was the company's idea, and I was just playing nice. That picture made it seem very believable, but like I said, I did theater, so I'm very good at faking like I care. So which is what happened at that point.
Well put, well put, well put. Now for you, what are some goals you want to set for yourself for the remainder of 2016? Is it more shows you want to do, like do shows outside of your area? Want to go for championships? Like, what are some other goals you want to set for yourself for the remainder of the year?
Well, for the remainder of 2016, I want to be a part of so many shows, as many shows as possible, so I can just continue to get more and more experience and continue to get better and better and improve. I've traveled outside the state a couple of times. I definitely would like to do so some more because it gives me the opportunity to work opponents who are, per se different than those I'm used to working. So I definitely want to go ahead and work outside of the Georgia area more frequently. As far as championships, of course, I have every intention of taking the intergender championship from Miss Taylor Lynn. I personally want to be the one to take it from her. It's not that I just want the belt. I want it from her. So before the end of this year, before the end of this month, I plan on having that belt around my waist. So short-term goals for 2016, that's where I am.
Okay. I did interview her before, and that's how I heard of her through you. And obviously, you two don't see eye to eye on that particular championship, so I'm gonna just leave that alone and let y'all two fight it out. And
I agree.
I'm gonna just leave that alone. So who do you consider what? Who would you consider like influences in your wrestling career? Those that have inspired you to wrestle. It could be anyone on the indies. It could be anyone on the pros. Like what,
But,
who got you as far as individuals? Who made you want to get into wrestling?
well, growing up, of course, I was always, as a child, I was a little heavier set, and I was always taller than the rest of my classmates, so I knew I was going to be a relatively tall girl. So seeing people like China initially which is when I right when I transitioned, seeing someone who's not like a small, tiny, or short young lady in a ring really inspires me. Rest in peace to her. Huge inspiration for me. As far as kind of like my wrestling style and things of that nature, like Sarah Del Rey, huge inspiration of mine. I've been a fan of hers since, I don't know, gosh, since 2007, 2008. Huge inspiration of mine. I modeled some of my stuff after her. Madison Eagle, who's based out of Australia. I believe she's the current Shimmer champion. Huge inspiration of mine too. Madison, huge inspiration of mine. I always loved it because I studied Muay Thai for 7 years. So seeing her kind of implement certain strategies, using DNA and the Shimmer in such a well-suited, smooth way has always been very inspirational and a very big deal to me. So I'm talking about like 3 people I just enjoy seeing their work, and I want to be, as good as them at some point in my life. Those would be the 3 people who have made the biggest impact on my style, and China will be the person who kind of gave me that reassurance that I could probably do this. So those 4 women are very big inspirations of mine.
I definitely am a fan of Sarah Del Rey. She's people would consider her the greatest female wrestler of all time. And she was fantastic.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
she is like one of the very few women that can take on guys and hang with them. She has that she has the toughness to do so, and she's done an outstanding job being one of the trainers for NXT, and to see the people that she has trained go to bigger heights, it just shows her hard work and dedication, and she deserves a whole lot of credit for what she's been able to do with those lovely women that you now see on Raw and SmackDown. For China, sadly she passed away early this year. She was she didn't just broke barriers. She destroyed barriers. She stood the test of time. She was the first woman that I saw actually go go up against guys.
Right.
And she held her own. The matches she had with Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental title was very
Oh
good.
yeah.
Um,
Great match.
and
Great match.
she first female to win the Intercontinental Championship, first female to be in the Royal Rumble and King of the Ring tournament. I mean, she did that. And that was obviously back in the Attitude Era when WWE could pretty much do whatever they want and get away with it. But with her, they let her be her at that time, and it worked for her for quite a long time. And as for Asuka, I mean, ever since she's been on NXT, she's been a joy to watch. And I'm so looking forward to her rematch against Bayley at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2. That match, if there's a match that could be right up there with Sasha and Bayley from last year, it could be that particular match. And I look forward to seeing more of her for Asuka. She's amazing. Um,
Absolutely.
she's and as you point out, to for her to use the MMA background to her arsenal, they pretty much let her do her. What made her great. They didn't make her change or anything. They just let her be her, and the crowd loves her. So and respect her for what she does. Um, Now, if you can have a dream match or dream matches for that matter, who would you like to go up against one day?
Well, of course, when I first initially started to express interest in wrestling, I was like 17, 18 years old, and Sarah Del Rey was still active at the time, so she had always been someone I had wanted to get trained up and aspired to have in a ring. So it probably will never happen, but if I could have one dream match, it definitely would be against Sarah Del Rey. If I could think of another one, I would have loved to work Jazz. I forgot to mention she was also a big inspiration of mine. I would have loved to work Jazz in her heyday. I do think she still does some bookings presently, but I do definitely believe she's winded down because I know she has children and twins and things of that nature. But she's someone else I would have loved to have a match with. And just for the contrast in styles, just because contrast of styles, I would probably say, I lost it. Leader. Just because I think that with my power way and her kind of a high-fly style, I think that could have made for a very interesting match. So if there was someone who had been, who's, well, not active anymore, but once again, someone that I loved watching growing up and who I think we could have had like a very interesting, compelling match just because of the contrast and styles, it would have definitely been Leader. So those are probably three of my dream matches that probably won't happen, but hey, they're dream matches for a reason.
That's right. They're dream matches for a reason, and I like those choices. Um, Now, obviously, there's not that many woman wrestlers with, who are big and menacing and things like that. Like an Awesome Kong back in her early years with TNA. There's only one woman with that size and power that I can think of that's currently active, and that's Nia Jax, who's on Raw right now. I mean, what's your take on her? Do you think she has potential to be? I mean, she's not like everyone else as it pertains to size, but
But
what's your take on her? Do you think she has potential to be that next dominating female that maybe that's what WWE wants her to be?
I think with time, absolutely. I think she hasn't been wrestling for very long,
Hmm.
but she showed glimmers and little moments where I could say maybe she could be what they had wanted Awesome Karma to be for them. Maybe she could be that powerful force. I definitely believe she needs more time to grow into that, just like anyone else who's been wrestling for only a couple of years like she has been. But do I see the potential there? absolutely I see the potential there. She just has to, keep growing. And now that she's on the main roster to get that experience in front of those huge crowds and with a certain time limits and different variants that goes into having a match on Raw or on SmackDown, I think she's just going to move quicker and quicker. Because I've noticed each match she's had, she's gone a little bit better, or she's added something new, or something has changed up. So that's the kind of thing you kind of pay attention to see if they have that potential to be where you want them to be, if they're growing on a constant basis. And she definitely has been. I love Nia Jax. I think she's great. It's great to see someone so different. She's a powerhouse. I'm a powerhouse. So, I'm not going to never say anything negative about someone else similar to me doing the thing and making a living at it. I love her. I love her style. I love her attitude. Overall, I think that she's going to be a success as long as they keep having this positive attitude about her, which they seem like they do, and keep pushing her forward.
She definitely looks like someone who has potential for sure. A lot of people would say she hasn't been in NXT for that long, and now she's on the main roster. But hey, she's got an opportunity to see what she can do. I think she was like, if you look at the draft, I think she was the second. Actually, she was the third female selected. Sasha was selected for Charlotte, then Sasha, and then Nia was selected. She was the third female on the Raw roster selected. So clearly they see something in her to be drafted that high. And I think after SummerSlam, she's going to be in the hunt for that women's championship. And it may.
I could definitely see that.
And I think Sasha is going to beat Charlotte. With Sasha, she's on a whole nother level right now, and I think that's going to be. Crowd's been chanting for her, and hey, you got to give people what they want. They want the boss. You got to give them the boss. So she's open for that opportunity, and more power to Sasha. She was the first African American female to win a women's championship since Jazz over a decade ago.
Very true, and that's a very big deal too. That's great to see finally.
So that was a great moment on the first Raw of the brand extension. I like the brand extension because it gives one thing I like about it is that people are getting more opportunities. You don't have to squeeze everybody into a 3-hour show on Raw and a 2-hour show on SmackDown. Now that the shows are separate, that means more opportunities. That means no excuses. Opportunities right in there. Go seize the moment. And that was something. And I heard what Becky Lynch said at the Comic-Con in San Diego. And she said she wants the woman more opportunities. And I think that was before the draft that she said that. So, let's see. So we'll see where they go from there. It was great chatting with you. Thank you so much for your time. Great chatting with you. Before I let you go, I don't know if I asked you this yet or not, but why don't you go ahead and promote your social media links, and also let people know about your upcoming shows, upcoming matches. Where can they check you out?
All right. Well, if you would like to check out the Dutchess Ayzali, you can find me on Twitter at Ayzali Wally, Ayzali Wali. The same thing for my Instagram. If you would like to find me on Facebook, that is Ayzali Austin Ramirez. In regards to shows that are coming up, of course, I have a show tonight in actually about 20 minutes against Dimension the Rose. This Saturday, I will be taking on my forever rival, is starting to seem like Kayla Lynn at New South in Hartsville, Alabama. Sunday, I have a special taping that I can't reveal some details about that quite yet, so it's going to be a pretty big deal. The following weekend, I also have another set of tapings, and I will be coming to Texas, the Dallas area, in the month of September, which I'm very excited about. I've never wrestled in Texas yet, so huge opportunity. In regards to things further down the line, I'm, of course, still accepting bookings. And as far as what I have coming up, those are the big things I have coming up. I am actively recovering for a knee injury, so I'm taking my time getting back out there and making sure I'm okay. But those are things coming up. I feel great, and I'm just excited for the future. And yeah, that's my all my social medias, and that's all of my upcoming masters. And I appreciate you for having me on.
Thank you so much, and you made this interview so much fun because it's that lovely, it's the accent. I just have to confess, you have a lovely accent. I just want you to
Thank
know that.
you.
So,
I get that a lot. It makes me different, and I used to hate the fact that I was different, and I had this I try to hide it, but now I see that it makes me a different. It makes me a bigger commodity. So I'm definitely living up to what I am and who I am as a person. So thank you.
yes, please keep it up. You know, embrace it. You know, it's just so fascinating. So, uh, but again, thank you for your time, and I wish you a speedy recovery. And again, thank you for your time. Continued success, and have a great night and have a great weekend.
Absolutely, you as